May we ask that the delegations be seated? And now we witness the signing of the communique. And now the customary exchange and handshake. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. President. And now the Prime Minister and President and the delegations will just return for a brief minute while we set up for the statements from both Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, and His Excellency, Mr. Paul Kagame.
Clean next one. Clean next one. Clean next one.
Oh, thank you. Yes, my team. Pull that up a little bit for your president for me.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. And now we'll have the statements by both leaders. First, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness of Jamaica, followed by His Excellency, Mr. Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda.
Members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this morning. It is an honor to welcome His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, and his delegation on this state visit to Jamaica. Indeed, this is the very first visit by a head of state of Rwanda to Jamaica, and indeed to the Caribbean. Mr. President, your presence here today reflects the deepening of the relationship between Jamaica and Rwanda, and indeed between our two regions. It is my great hope that the bilateral engagements stemming from this visit will demonstrate the commitment of both our countries to closer collaboration. As we seek to strengthen our friendship, we also note the importance of engagement on topics of global concern in regional and multilateral fora. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today, President Kagame and I engaged in critical discussions on various issues of mutual interest. The robust dialogue we had builds on the areas of expertise within our respective countries, allowed us to share experiences and best practices, and brought us closer by exploring avenues to expand economic and technical cooperation. In so doing, we concur that we must now strive to yield concrete benefits from these collaborations between Jamaica and Rwanda. In our meeting today, we spoke of the potential for investments in agriculture, special economic zones, manufacturing, and logistics, to name just a few areas. There have been additional commitments to further explore cooperation in culture, health, youth engagement, energy, cyber, and tourism, which we are sure will yield great benefits for both our countries. I am proud to advise that our governments signed 2 bilateral memoranda of understanding aimed at formalizing joint activities and laying the groundwork for deeper engagement. We signed a memorandum of understanding on political consultations, which creates a formal structure for bilateral discussions and explores the potential for future collaboration. As we continue to engage, we now have a framework within which our substantive mechanisms can be implemented. We also signed a memorandum of understanding on tourism development and promotion, which will enable our countries to share best practices and experiences, as well as to facilitate cooperation in related areas of mutual benefit. Community and rural tourism, as well as ecotourism, are but a few of the areas expected to see significant development. There is also scope to learn from our Rwandan friends how we can further attract visitors by marketing our country as an ideal place for hosting meetings, conferences, and other high-level engagements. This tourism MOU perfectly complements the air services agreement signed in December 2018 as it enhances the possibilities for people-to-people connections and increased trade and investment. Ladies and gentlemen, establishing and deepening strong fraternal connections with countries of the African continent have been a strategic area of focus for Jamaica's diplomatic engagement under my administration. The Jamaica-Rwanda relationship should, therefore, be seen within the greater framework of our historical connection, not only with the continent, but with Rwanda since the establishment of diplomatic relations in November 1998. President Kagame and I were able to exchange views on the CARICOM-Africa relationship and are both of the opinion that this is a vehicle for greater collaboration, even as we anticipate the end of the 2015-2024 International Decade for People of African Descent, being celebrated under the theme Recognition, Justice, and Development, and building on the first CARICOM AU Summit held in September 2021. Mr. President, we are honored that you have laid a wreath at the shrine of the Right Excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Jamaica's first national hero and champion of Pan-Africanism. We should always remember that the Right Excellent Marcus Garvey rightfully emphasized that solidarity among Africans and people of African descent is pivotal to the development of our respective regions. Ladies and gentlemen, our countries have also pledged to continue to cooperate on issues of mutual importance in international fora. Rwanda is credited with being a strong voice for climate change and environmental management, having one of the highest rates of reforestation globally. The country has shown great strides in economic and social development and is recognized as a major contributor to international peacekeeping missions. Remarkable achievements that stand as credit to the significant strides made by Rwanda over the last 28 years. We therefore look forward to President Kagame's participation in Think Jamaica 2022, a government-to-government and civil society dialogue slated for later this afternoon, when we will seek to discuss our views on society, development, and transformation. It is significant that the President was able to visit Jamaica this year as we launch Jamaica 60, the official start of the celebrations to mark Jamaica's diamond anniversary and independence. We are also honored that he delivered a presidential address to the joint sitting of Parliament. Mr. President, I once again thank you for having accepted my invitation to pay a state visit to Jamaica, which by a great coincidence, and as fate would have it, the visit coincided with our 60th year, which is also the 60th year of independence of Rwanda. A very faithful visit, I would say. Mr. President, I very much hope that your delegation will continue to enjoy the warmth of our country and the rich and vibrant Jamaican culture and atmosphere. Jamaica being the land of wood and water, and Rwanda the country of 1,000 hills. We may be geographically apart, but today we have made another important step to building closer bridges. Thank you Mr. President, I invite you now to deliver your remarks.
Thank you. The most honorable and honest Prime Minister, members of the media, distinguished ministers, ladies and gentlemen. Prime Minister, I would like to start by thanking you once again for the invitation to visit Jamaica and for the exceptionally warm welcome and hospitality that has been provided to me and my delegation. This is my first time to visit your country, and it coincides, as you rightly said, with Jamaica's 60th anniversary of independence. Allow me once again to take this opportunity to congratulate you and the government and the people of Jamaica for your outstanding accomplishments. As I mentioned earlier, the Prime Minister and I had a very productive meeting. We agreed that there is no better time for Rwanda and Jamaica to deepen our relationship. The agreement on political consultations that has been signed will facilitate this process with a framework to enhance collaboration in the key areas of mutual interest. We have also signed an agreement on tourism. This is a sector of strategic importance, which contributes heavily to our respective economies. As we recover from the COVID pandemic, we must learn from each other's experience and make this industry more resilient and rewarding to our citizens. We should also work together on the global stage to advocate for policies of particular relevance to our people, and climate change mitigation is a notable example. The wheel does not need to be reinvented, Mr. Prime Minister. We are already members of key international organizations such as the Commonwealth and the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States, and we can leverage these platforms for mutual benefit. When the will to work together is strong, even distance cannot separate us or slow us down. Once again, Prime Minister, I thank you for having us in your beautiful country. I look forward to welcoming you in Kigali in a few months for the Commonwealth Heads of State and Government meeting. I thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Good.
This concludes our statement by both leaders. May we ask the media to remain in place while Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, escorts His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, to his vehicle to exit. We thank you so much for your patience and time this morning. We ask that you now journey to the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel for the Think Jamaica 2022 Government to Government Dialogue, We will have civil society, the political directorate, the church, and of course the youth participating in that discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel.